Well, here we are, ladies. It's already month 6 for Jubilation. This time it shows you right here that you're going to make one block, the center block. To me, this was a little bit deceiving because that's the center of the center block, and we're actually going to make this, which is, like this one is the center right here. And then we're going to use pieces that we've already made and pull them out of our storage and make this so you'll have that whole center unit. So first we'll make the center block, and it's going to turn out 10.5 inches. So Karen, here it is in part. I didn't put it all together because I did want to show some trimming.
Okay.
All right. So one thing I have found really handy, because I keep mixing and matching and I have my stickers as to which fabric goes on which actual piece of fabric, which number, but I try to keep this right beside me, and that has been handy because we know that the cutting instructions show the color but not the actual fabric. So go down a lot of different fabrics this time, but once you get them cut out, you're half done. So the cutting took a little while, I found, but then the sewing went really quickly. So these, you're making up some blocks that we've just been using them in our other months, so that should be easy just to pull out that memory and follow the directions. So we've got a few blocks like this, our corner beams, and you make them in 2 sizes. So you've got them on that size and then a little bit larger too. So you're going to make them in 2 sizes this time. So don't let that throw you. So construct your corner beams, and it shows you. And so let's go ahead and trim. Oh, you know what, Karen? I already trimmed all of them. And so I don't have any of those left to trim. But I think that we just did those last month, so that shouldn't be a problem. We use the corner beam tool. So if you get bogged down, go ahead and look at month 5. And we made corner beams. And so you can see that. But her pictures are so good, that shouldn't be much of an issue. So I made these. And then we made this little unit, so it makes these. That was an easy one to follow. Then we're going to do the square and a square. And that's going to be this one with the gold. And you're going to trim it down according to, on here it says this first step is to use your gold fabric, because you'll have a piece of gold that's about this big. And you're going to go, and it says the center square for a 2-inch block. So you're going to look on here and it says center, let's see, does that work? Yeah. Center square for 2-inch finished block. So you'll set that on your gold fabric and trim them exactly that big. And you're going to cut 4 of them. And that's going to be this center square right here. So you're going to put, let me just grab my little one. You're going to put a number, I believe this is 11, and number maybe 10 on the other end of that one. Yeah, fabric 10 and 11 on this, and then press them. And it's almost everything this time was pressed open. So you'll press that open and then put the other corners on, and your little block's going to look like this right there. So then I was going to show trimming that. All right. So we're going to go to this other end of our squared ruler. And does that show up, Karen? So my 2-inch right here, all of those corners right there, okay, line up. So I'll just make sure I didn't bump it and cut these 2 sides. You can see how much we're cutting off, less than 1/4 of an inch. Then you turn around for the other 2 sides. I'm going to line those up again, and also this edge. So it's going to turn out 2.5 inches will be my trim down, and I've got all these lined up. Okay, so I'm going to put that back over here. Then it shows you, so you're going to have 4 of those. You're going to sew this little white thing onto here. Well, it's hard to tell the front and the back of these. sew these onto that, and that makes this unit. And then you're going to go ahead and sew these onto it for that edge. All right, so then this one says construct the stacked squares, and that's this block for the middle. And we're going to do the center. It turns out, trim it down. Shows you here, trim down a little bit. Okay. That made the green and orange portion. And then 30, okay, go to the next page. There we go. Here we are. I put those two on, and it had you press them open. And then put the other two on, press them open. So we're to this point right here, and I didn't trim it because I wanted to trim it for all of us. It says trim the unit using the trim down section and align the labeled 4-inch with your seam intersections and dashed lines. So we'll go ahead and line that up. So I better turn this right side up. Okay, so here we are again using this end of our ruler, and I'm going to put my 4s right here in my corners, and you can see these rulers make it so handy. And you can see I'm going to have a little bit to trim off all the way around. I kind of check things like that just to make sure I'm in the right spot. So we'll trim off 2 edges, and you can see about 1/4 inch. Then we'll do the other 2. So I'm lining up this again, putting those right there. And then I'm also noting the 4.5 inch lines right here. So do your corners and then your outside lines. All right, so that's how much I got trimmed off of that one. So that's going to go in the center here. So that's the very, very center, your center block. So that was page 37. 38 teaches us to make this block and this block right there. Okay. So that's these blocks. So here is this first batch on page 38. We'll do these, and you know how to do them. That's a real basic one, and trim those down. And then we'll construct the combination units, and that's what they call these, is a combination unit. So when you get done, you have them that are, so this one's matching, let's see, there we go, that way, and that's matching this way. So you're going to end up with them just automatically as you follow directions. You'll come up, half of them will face this way, half of them will face that way. So these are ready to trim. It says trim the units to 5.5. And it says get out your Tucker trimmer. So we'll get out our Tucker trimmer. We're going to trim down to 5.5. So I'm going to look for my half moon, and we're going to trim them down to 5.5. So I am going to line up this, right down one seam, this right down a seam. So there we go. You can see it's not going to be much trimmed off. And then this is coming right up the center there. So I'll trim off those 2 directions. So you can see that's less than 1/4 inch. Then I'll switch that around. I still have this center diagonal, so I'm going to put it right down there, right down the center of my block. And now I'm watching this 5.5 inch line around the edge and the diagonal that goes clear across. And that time I got about 1/4 inch off. So I'm going to do both of these. Then we can get those sewn together. So just like last time, I'm lining that center one up and coming across right here. We'll turn it around and get that other side. I like to use my glow line tape. You can see I've got a little piece of pink glow line right across there, so it helps me remember what I'm watching. This is going right down the center. This is going the center this way. Okay, so about 1/4 inch. All right, so that gets us to the bottom of page 38. I now have those. Oh, wrong page. There we go. Now number 39. So number 39 says, press the seams open. Almost all these were pressing the seams open. So it says, put these together and put these together and just follow your picture so the green forms the center. And this is gonna, the purple is gonna flow right together. So you'll have 4 of these. So I've got those sewn together. Then you're going to go to your storage unit and pull out the ones that you've made, and it says, let's see, here we go. Nope, that's one, step 30. Oh, here it is, right here. Gather the A5 units from month 1, the L6 units from month 2, L4 units from month 3, and then the large corner beams from what we just did this month. Lay them out together, and so you're going to make this unit right here. So it is this unit right here. You're going to have 4 of these exactly. I went ahead and got them sewn together. And Karen, I would like you to zoom in on this right here. All the people that watch this will appreciate how exacting you can get this. This one just turned out, the other ones maybe were a thread different, but this one I just was so impressed with how that looks.
It looks great.
So I went ahead and sewed these 2 together. I couldn't sew the center one yet because I didn't finish this yet. Okay, so this is going to be my whole center unit. I've got the top and the bottom ones ready to go. This one almost ready to go. The other thing we're going to do this time, it had you cut all these different ones. You're going to make 4 strips that look like this. And this is a border. So easy peasy, just sew them together. You can see they're just exactly in order. Fabric 1, 2, 3, they just follow the numbers. So you'll have 4 sewn together units like that. So that's page 39. If you look at page 40, it will tell you you'll have this whole center section done and 4 of these. And these you press all one direction. And I am losing my voice. So that is the end of month 6. So we're just getting down to a couple more blocks to make in month 7, put her all together in month 8, and we'll be ready to get these quilted and hung on our walls. So thanks for joining us for month 6. We'll see you at month 7.